Right, that's one wall done. One more to go. Elsa. Oh, bugger this. Time for a cuppa. Dear God, what's dying back there? That can't be Paul. Paul. Paul! Dude, are you alright in there? That's not reassuring. Cover your shame. I'm coming in. Oh my God.
Hey man, when did you get here?
Huh? I've been here the whole time. Cleaning up your lady friend's mess, may I add. Didn't you hear me calling to you?
Really? Oh no, I couldn't hear anything. It's so loud in here.
That's all the coughing you're doing. It sounds like your body is rejecting your lungs. Seriously, what's wrong with you?
Me? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fit as a fiddle.
That's a pretty shitty fiddle then. Look at yourself.
Look at yourself.
Pleasant.
Oh.
Seriously! Just tell me what's wrong with you.
Nothing. I'm fine. It's just a bad cold is all.
So nothing is causing you to release the contents of your stomach onto my hardwood floor?
Yep. What you just said is correct.
What are you hiding?
Nothing.
Whoa.
Nothing.
That was awful. Wait, is that lipstick on your neck?
What? No, that's just blood. Yeah, that's just my blood. Nothing to worry about.
No, that's lipstick, my sickly friend. Where is she?
Who? Elsa? How would I know?
I said she, not Elsa.
Damn!
I can see her ancient undies on the floor.
You watch your mouth, sir. That's my lady you speak ill of.
My mouth? Mine is fine. You should be more concerned with yours.
What do you mean?
What have I told you about putting undead things into your mouth?
Well...
You
You told me I'd get gastro.
I told you you'd get gastro. Are you happy with yourself? Was it worth it?
Honestly? Kind of.
Really? Just kind of.
For the experience, it was fantastic, but that's not to say there weren't some downfalls.
Downfalls?
Rigor mortis is an uphill battle.
Oh, I didn't need to know that. Cops might, though.
No. Baby, please, Elsa. Please, no.
Oh ho ho! Lovers quarrel. Right, that's it. Quarantine!
Quarantine?
You heard me. I'm placing you both under quarantine.
You can't do this to us!
Interesting choice of words there, Elsa. You just bloody watch me. You two are disgusting. And until you sort out your shit, you can just stay in there. Oh, God. Oh, that smell's not going anywhere soon. Ooh, my cup is ready.
Into the Minds of Madness, the horror movie podcast where me, Paul McWhirter, talks shit with horror movie aficionado, Mr. Chris Dicker. How are you, man?
Very well. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh, well,
Yeah, that might be a bit of an exaggeration.
yeah. I'm okay. I don't know how to feel after watching that.
Yeah, it's very much a film. Very much like that.
We're 5 episodes in, and that's already a common occurrence for me to not know how do I feel after watching a horror movie.
Mm.
Pretty understandable, really.
I've caught you off guard on these. I've deliberately chosen specific ones to see your reactions, to see how you take it.
So what did we just watch?
We just watched Antiviral.
Antiviral.
It's a Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David Cronenberg. It's his first full-length feature film.
Yeah.
And he takes after his father. He's keeping the body genre going, and yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
I don't think I liked it.
I didn't think you would.
I can definitely say that I did not like this movie.
Mm.
I didn't like it. There were a lot of themes involved in it too that kind of I feel like muddied it a little bit.
Okay.
For me especially, like I'm trying to understand what's going on. It's taking a lot of left turns.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like it's in a good way.
Okay.
That's for me anyway. Like just trying to follow it and trying to understand what's going on. And
Well, I guess this is my second viewing of this, so it was pretty easy to. But I gotta say, the first time, I knew I just watched something great, but I wasn't quite sure what the fuck just happened.
okay, yeah.
But it still left an impact. As I said to you before, it's left a burn on my brain. Like it always pops up every now and then, in the best way possible.
When I'm thinking of specific scenes, even now, I feel a bit
sickly.
Yeah, it's very unsettling.
Well, let's talk about what made you this film and why it's giving you such an awful feeling in your gut.
Yeah, all right.
So
I'm not sure if I want to go any deeper than we already.
Mate, I can't wait.
I feel very strange. You might have to take the lead on this one.
Not a problem. So basically, we follow the main character, Sid March.
Yep.
And he works as a...
Ranger Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, what's his name? Shit, I should know this with all the comics and such. I've forgotten his name, but he was in X-Men First Class. He was the one who could he screamed and he could fly across the water and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen X-Men. I haven't seen First Class.
References gone to waste.
References, guys. References. That's a reference.
But anyway,
ding ding ding. Reference.
I was really this is after First Class, and I was really quite surprised he did a really menacing go at this. But anyway,
the guy the main character in this movie actually is in X-Men.
Yeah, he's in X-Men First Class.
Okay.
That came out before him. This movie, sorry.
Before this, okay. Sorry, I thought you were saying he reminded you of...
No. He was in it. He was in it.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, no, he was great in that, and it was interesting to see you go from a big studio film to this. And I'm interested. I'm kind of trying to remember to follow him, but I kind of forget about him sometimes.
Okay,
but,
yeah. He is quite a good actor. Like he was probably what made me so compelled by this movie, to be honest.
Yeah, he helps carry you through the ordeal of it. But anyway,
funny you say ordeal. We'll get to that soon.
So he works as a technician at the Lucas Clinic, and it's celebrity to the extreme. It's the world's fascination, and it's kind of like let's a twisted view on how far we could take the obsession with celebrity.
Yeah.
And at the Lucas Clinic, people pay to have celebrity viruses and afflictions put onto them to be infected with them. And in our first interaction with this happening, it's a young man coming in and meeting Sid for a meeting and getting injected, paying and requesting for herpes.
Yeah, because so the kind of main celebrity we're following is Hannah Geist.
Hannah Geist.
Sorry, Hannah Geist. And she has herpes.
Well, she had it at some stage.
She had it at some stage.
That's they keep a stockpile of.
Well, herpes is a virus that doesn't leave you, so she technically still does have herpes.
You know what I mean.
How I know that, don't ask.
Okay.
So this was probably a really good start to introducing the themes of this movie. sorry, what's his name again? Sid.
Sid.
So he always has his same spiel.
Yeah.
Like when he's selling, isn't she incredible, almost perfect?
Yeah, she's perfect in some way, isn't she?
Yes, in some way she is pretty much perfect. And he tells this young man that, well, she had it on the right side, so you'd want to have it on the left, so as if she kissed you and gave it to you.
Yeah, and the moment he says that and it kind of touches his lip, he's like, oh yes, I'd very much like that.
Yeah. So he pretty much sold it to him so simply.
Yeah.
This guy was already obsessed, and just before he sits him down, I like just before it cuts to him pretty much in the, I guess the operating chair. Not like they're operating, he's just sticking a needle in him. But
Yeah.
He's just like, do you have your credit card on you, Mr. Poitus, or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
Do you have your credit card on you?
There's always a reminder to it.
He's lying down in the chair, getting ready to be.
Yeah, he didn't even like say you sold. It's like, have you got your card ready?
Yeah, simple as that. Simple as that.
But there is also a deeper meaning as to why he's choosing the most expensive items, but he knows that they were going to enjoy it. But he's also doing it to pinch it himself, to get the remains of it.
Pretty much skimming off the top.
Yes, because we find out later on that Sid isn't just a humble technician. He is a mule for these celebrity diseases.
Yeah.
And he is selling it to different like piracy groups and such.
Good way to put it, mule. Yeah.
Mule, yeah, because
that's
he's
a good way to put it.
physically, it's fucked up. He's injecting himself with these awful diseases and then allowing himself to get so sick, and then what would you call that? Like,
I guess harvesting it.
Yeah,
almost?
he's harvesting the disease in him and then manufacturing it from there, and then selling it on to whoever else
the
needs.
black market.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
And it's wow, yeah, what a process to go through. It's very uncomfortable to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, very. He's the actor sells it very well as well.
Oh, he does a I genuinely thought he was gonna pass out so many times. He looks so unwell and he's spitting up blood.
He does it pretty amazingly, really.
He looks so sickly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the paleness of his skin and all the freckles and stuff
does help,
kind of add to it as well.
But
he's got a very interesting looking body, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not an athletic man.
No, very wiry, very lanky.
And he the one that stood out for me in the beginning of seeing how sick he, like, and how well he plays sick, is when he wakes up from that weird dream at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And he's covered in sweat and all that sort of stuff. And then he just has to get one of the first real big gross out moments. So he grabs a cotton swab, right?
Yes.
We've seen cop shows.
Listener, I'm gonna close my ears.
Yeah, we've seen cop shows and such. It's usually you do a swab in the mouth. No, not for our friend Sid. He decides to go via the nose. Fuck, he got so deep.
Touching brain, man.
Touching brain. Well, I think I said something along the lines. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how to tie his shoes now.
Yeah.
How far he got in there.
At the very least.
Yeah, like a less of an understanding of Pythagoras' theorem. Something like that. He's forgotten which one you're supposed to multiply.
Oh, goodness.
So that's the kind of... So I was telling you before that's the kind of scare this movie has. There's no jump scares to be found. This is more relatable horror. You know what I mean? Like, Dario Argento, one of the greats of like Italian horror, he would always, and he said it before, that he would always go for knives, cutting and stuff, like close-ups, because everyone knows what it feels like to be cut with cut your finger or something like that.
I cut my finger yesterday with the cheese knife at work.
There you go.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So everyone knows what it's like to have a fear of needles.
That fucking cheese knife too, man. Oh, God.
Goddamn, fucking Jason Voorhees would be proud of that.
Oh, yes.
Little club security.
That's pretty much our shotgun behind the bar is our fuck off cheese knife.
It's damn near a machete.
Yep.
But he would go for knives and such like that. And so in this movie, they're so effective, the scares, because you're seeing close-ups of needles.
Oh yeah. So I really struggled with the needles.
Yeah,
that's one thing I really
not a fan.
No.
I kind of wish I knew that beforehand, because I wouldn't have picked it. Because I had no idea you had no problem with it. I'm so used. everyone being desensitized like myself. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I'm okay with getting them and stuff. I just can't look.
it's watching
like,
it,
I can't watch it go in.
and they do so many close-ups, and you see the just
Yeah.
the pause and wow.
You saw that, like I turned away at pretty much every insertion of a needle, except for one. There was one scene I was so compelled by. I was just staring, and I knew the needle was about to go in, and I just couldn't look away because it was shot so beautifully.
Oh,
And I was just staring, and then it got to the point where it punctured and went in, and I was just like, oh, that's right, that's a needle. Yeah, I better look away now. Like,
yeah, you're like,
what was wrong with me?
why am I watching this?
Why am I doing this to myself? And it made me feel ill, of course, like exactly as I expected.
Whoa, yes. Fuck.
So
Speaking of ill, Sid is injecting himself, being the mule, and he gets an opportunity to. He himself is obsessed with Hannah Geist, like most of the population.
he's almost trying to pretend that he's not.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways,
he's trying to be as distant as possible from it.
He's almost acting like he's above it.
Yeah,
he's really not. He's really not above it at all. He's obsessed with her in a different way.
Yeah, it's a different level,
than just
isn't
a
it?
celebrity. He's obsessed with her, and he's almost obsessed with her insides in a lot of ways, like with her body, but not in a sexual way.
He's just obsessed with her to like every inch of her.
Yeah,
down to like her cells. Like,
yeah, her organs, and yeah, that's what he's obsessed with. Like, I know later on it's brought up by Levine.
Ah, Levine.
I guess pretty much the antagonist, really.
Yeah, the bad guy.
Yeah, I guess the bad guy. That it's kind of a sexual politics thing as well. It's almost like you're being fucked by her, by the disease she has. So it's almost like a sexual politics thing. Like,
well,
you're being penetrated by the disease.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there was a great moment when we first, along the same lines, where we see, I keep call him Caleb, like he's an actual actor's name.
Yeah.
Where we see Sid go open a hidden panel behind in his cupboard, and he's got the Ready Face machine, which is the device that allows him to
the console, they call it.
The console, yes, allows them to manufacture and create his own versions of these diseases and such, and
his way to get past the security.
Because they've all got
encryption on them.
They've got an encryption, so they're no longer contagious.
Yeah.
So once you've got it, you can't give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that way you've got to.
And it's also so those companies can protect their their commodities.
Exactly. But as this scene is going on, there is the head of the Lucas Clinic on TV, talking on a talk show, and he's talking about how, like, the reporter is asking him, "Do you find that we've gone too far with our obsession,
celebrity obsession,
and do you find that these people, don't you feel like you're taking advantage of poor, like, obsessed people?" And he's going on about, no, impossible. We're healthy. We're just the next step, and all this spiel whilst we're watching Caleb work away on this thing. I called him Caleb again. See him working away on this machine, making his own thing, and then you're seeing some of the customers, the clients of the clinic, and they're not well people. They're not right in the head.
Yeah,
they're absolutely obsessed with celebrity, and as is the world in this entire thing. News is dominated by one of the celebrities' anus. Yeah, anal issues.
Yeah, and I love it how it's not a scandal. It's not a problem they're having. Every single thing is called an ordeal. Yeah, it's the ordeal that they're going through.
Yeah, the drama that everything is making from that, and it's. Well, I thought originally that, it's fucked up that you're going to inject yourself with someone's virus. They're making, as they call them, celebrity cell steaks.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're literally from their
muscles.
Yeah, from their muscles, from their muscle tissue. Yep. They're building meat pretty much. Like building them.
Yeah, you can buy a kilo of Hannah Geist.
Yeah.
Or a kilo of whoever sausages.
Yeah, like a fillet of Hannah Geist.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and it's and one of the characters brings it up, saying, don't know how this isn't cannibalism.
Yeah.
But people are, and you see later on in restaurants, like, everyone's ordering celebrity food, like food made from celebrities, and it's just, I just love the comment they're making. It's, as you mentioned before, it was a bit heavy-handed how they kind of went it. Like, it was very extreme version of this obsession, but I love that. Like, that's very much a Cronenberg thing. It's like he's carried it on. His son's got it in his blood, and it's very much, I have a problem with this. How can I make it terrifying? And
well, I did read. So before we went into this, because I was quite terrified of this movie. I did decide to do a little bit of reading this morning before we started, just to kind of calm my nerves a bit. And if anything, it did the opposite.
Of course.
But apparently the idea for this movie came from, I can't remember who it was. Like Jennifer Love Hewitt or someone or something was on Jimmy Kimmel, and was saying how she had a cold, and she's like, "Oh, if I sneeze on the audience, I'm going to affect everybody," and everybody just cheered and applauded. And that's where he got the idea. The idea for this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah, you can see what he went. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's like, oh yeah, you're sick. Well, yeah, and you're gonna make us sick. Awesome.
Yeah, we can share it with you. Like, I can just see that moment of him just sitting there watching them, like, running to his computer or whatever he writes on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I got it. But I was quite. You mentioned before how beautifully shot it was.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful movie. That, like, if it was any other way of being filmed, this would have made it really hard to watch. Like, it would have been so much harder to watch.
Yeah.
Just everything about it, like the framing and even the blocking. I almost feel like there's a reason for everything. Like, there's certain conversations you don't see the person Sid's talking to. They're completely off screen, and you're just watching Sid react to, like, someone will say something, he's caught him off guard, and you watch his whole body react to it.
Yeah, I think it's very solitary, a lot of it, just to kind of show how apart from it all Sid is.
Yeah, and Sid's pretty much on his own in this world.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, he still has that obsession with I don't think it's an obsession with celebrity for him. I think he's obsessed with Hannah.
It's Hannah, yeah, 100%.
He still has the exact same obsessions, but he's looking at it from a completely different perspective as well.
It's incredibly personal to him.
Yeah, and
he doesn't share it with the rest of the
whereas
world.
Everybody else is like, "Oh my god, I love that! I love Hannah so much, and I want everybody to know that I love her so much." But his is more private, and it's more personal, more intense.
You don't see him buying Hannah steaks. It's only when, what's his name?
Arvin.
Gives him a piece of Hannah.
Yeah, he's just like, here on the house.
And yeah, even then, he doesn't really eat it.
He only has a bite of it,
and then he starts feeling sick. And
yeah.
Oh, I quite liked I forgot his name again. I keep going to call him Aardvark.
Arvin.
It's
either Arvin or Arvid.
I think it might be Arvid. Anyway, I really liked him.
I did too. He was so unassuming.
Yeah.
And then he ended up being kind of, other than Levine, probably the other main antagonist.
Yeah.
He exploits Sid like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Once he finds out that he's got Hannah's disease.
And he knows straight away.
He wasn't some dummy, but he acted like he was. That's what I liked about him.
We haven't even touched onto that part yet. The Hannah's disease.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sid. Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Sid.
Back yourself, brother.
Sid gets the job. He gets the call to go. Hannah is selling she's got a new ailment and she's ready to sell.
Yeah.
And so he goes and takes care of it and takes a sample of her blood.
Yeah.
And it's locked in this metal cylinder, this container, and her carer seals it and ticks it, and off he goes. And then you see him next scene running into the bathroom
and unlocking it
and injecting himself. Not even working it down to like a chemical form. It's just blood in blood. Just get it in me. And this is his worst choice ever. Like, this is the worst thing he could have done, as we find out that Hannah's really not well.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so like, let's give away the movie. We
Yeah,
can't
let's
we
spoil
can't
it.
really talk about it
Yeah, you
without giving
can't.
away.
Yeah, because and that's what I was saying before. I didn't understand what the fuck was going on in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much until they spelt it out.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's very much
it
just
needs
it's
to
a
be
mystery
spoiled
the entire way.
if we want to talk about it. It needs to be spoiled.
So there's many. The Lucas Clinic isn't the only company that is selling celebrity diseases and such like
Yeah.
that. Oh, I forgot the name.
Levine.
No. The
He's
actual
working
company,
for-
like it's
yeah,
like Luke and
the
Vessa.
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
I think it's something Vessa. Anyway, there's another one.
but that's who Levine works for.
That's who Levine is working for. We
So it's pretty much Lucas and this Low Investor or whatever it is.
yeah, those are the main two.
Those
They're
are
the
two
big
that we really
companies.
deal with. in
There's
this
the
movie.
yeah, and so we find out that they have Lucas has a complete exclusive contract that they only get Hannah Geist. No one else is allowed to sell or attain her
Yes.
DNA.
Yes.
The other company aren't happy with that.
Yep.
So they have managed to manufacture a disease,
And patent
a disease that would infect her, go through her body, and then they would then take it back out and then be allowed to sell it because it's their.
Well, it would pretty much be Lucas would be selling it, but because the other company owns the patent, pretty much all the money just goes to the other company.
We see later on they're getting ready to launch the line of it. They're ready to launch all
the afterlife stuff.
No. But before that, like when he's escaping and he runs into the room and there's all these Hannah Geist little cardboard cutouts and the magazines and stuff like that. They're getting ready to sell this fucked up disease that they've made. So that was their plan all along.
Which is the one that
is killing Sid.
Yeah,
It's killing Sid and Hannah.
That has, as they've said, they've pretty much faked her death, haven't they? As well.
No, I don't think they intended to kill her. They don't think they intended for the rival company to have such a strong disease, because it's absolutely wiped her out, and we find out at the end that she can't be brought back. There is no cure for it.
Yeah.
In a sense, and that's what Sid has infected himself with it too. So now he is, as I believe Malcolm McDowell's character says, I think you've stumbled across something sinister, my friend.
Yes.
And perfect. And you
Yeah.
just kind of see that moment on Sid's face of like, yeah, oh man, I'm fucked. Like,
Yeah.
this is not good. And that kind of sums up what the movie was going for. Like it's more of a, you're seeing a little person caught up in a huge company's like kind of
He was
butt
just,
of heads.
Yeah, and he was pretty much just working on like a small like smugglers like kind of black market
Yeah,
level.
I think you should
And
try
then-
to make a bit of coin.
and then found himself embroiled in this
Mhm.
like giant fight between two companies as well.
his
So it's-
obsession got the better of him.
yeah, it's like and that's kind of what I feel like with this movie. It's trying to comment on a lot of things at once as well.
Yeah,
Like it's
definitely.
kind of talking about consumerism and celebrity obsession, and then also with giant companies
Mm.
like pretty much fucking people over just to make a buck as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments.
I definitely
trying
get
to
what
be
you mean with
made
the
here.
company. I was a little bit. I don't want to say disappointed, but I was a little bit when it was revealed that it was the rival company that's been holding him captive and has
Yeah.
caused this infection to happen. But it makes so much sense when the real ending happens. Like
When he's pretty much in bed with the other company now, like.
he is
And
offered them a deal.
and that was him being like, well, I don't really give a shit about this company versus company thing. I just want to make my buck.
Well, he wants
as
the
well.
cure because they're not going to give Hannah a cure.
And then he was pretty much blackmailed into working for them anyway.
Mm.
And he pretty much gave them the solution as well at the end. He was like, well, we both can't come to an agreement
Well,
here.
that's it.
So the head of Voss or whatever it was, the
Mhm.
other company, goes to leave, and he's like, hold on, I think I've got an idea that could benefit both of you, and we just need the technology, and I just happen to know where to get that.
Yeah. And what do you think of what did you think of their solution to Hannah's problem?
What, just to pretty much grow her back?
Yeah. So they basically.
So they're pretty much cloning her after death, isn't? Is
No,
that
it's
what
not
they're doing?
cloning her. No,
Like,
no,
what
no.
exactly are they doing there? Is that them pretty much making like it's a
cell
next
farm.
It's the next step up from just making the meat.
Yeah,
kind
pretty
of
much.
thing. Yeah.
she is alive, but her mind is in a computer. Like you can talk to her on a screen and stuff like that. But she's in like one of the kind of like a giant iron lung kind of
Yeah.
device, and you see it's just like all her. There's no skin. There's no nothing like that. It's just random bits of organ, and there's other bits growing over it, and it's they call it the afterlife system,
Yeah.
and it's
And and what is it? So like you can almost like buy your own Hannah personality to speak to, kind of thing. Is that what it is? Like
it's to keep it's they're going afterlife to kind of sweeten the deal, but basically she is not dead. She's not alive. Her body is alive. She is dead. But they are then able to everything's grown from her DNA. They are able to continue making diseases from her, like infecting her with diseases and then selling them.
of course. So
now they've actually got.
So they're literally. So she's pretty much turned into a mule.
She is basically the most. This is the most exclusive deal ever. So
Yeah.
like she's actually instead of just being a exclusive patient, she's in the basement, in the lab,
Yeah.
in her iron lung, with the only bit of skin is a flesh bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so strange.
Yeah, that was
it's like
really
a hand.
strange.
It's like a cupboard handle, but it's flesh.
Yeah. It almost looks like an elbow, like almost as if you held both your hands together and then just took the hands out.
Yeah, two stumps just
So
hitting each other.
Yeah, it's like two elbows elbows
Yeah.
connected at the wrist. It's very strange.
so strange.
And then, all right, well then let's talk about that very last bit.
Oh yeah,
This
I wasn't happy with this. This was a bit like this isn't a vampire movie. I get what it was. It's supposed to represent a kiss, but so basically, they've unveiled the afterlife system. All these high up people and scientists have seen it. He's finally alone with it now. They've all gone. He's alone. He locks the door, and he's still obsessed with her. And now he's figured out a way to keep her all to himself forever. And we see him take away the covering to her fleshy handle, elbow bits, and
locks the
door and proceeds to take a scalpel to it and let her just bleed. And then he leans in real close and says, "She's perfect in a certain sort of way."
Yeah, that line that he used in his spiel.
Yeah, the same line, and then just
and he's pretty much talking to the incision.
Yeah, the hole.
Yeah, the hole as it bleeds, as it
Pulsates
and bleeds out.
And then he just starts. It's not even kissing it, but it's like just put his mouth over the hole and just taking the blood in and
going for it. It was just so strange.
It's a gross movie.
Oh
It's a gross
God.
movie.
I just want to briefly talk about one of his workmates.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh my God,
he was fantastic.
Fucking hell. Oh my God, so good.
I felt like it very much reminded me and felt it was delivered in like a very American Psycho kind of way. Their priorities are so elsewhere. Just like in an American Psycho, all they can think about is where they can get a reservation, who they're going to score some coke from.
And they're just at work.
Yeah.
Like, he's just at work. Obviously, Sid is there, like, being a mule and stealing disease and things like that. And then the third guy is like he's like, "Oh, you've been working here too long. You're too into this whole celebrity thing. You've gone too deep," kind of thing.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, Sid has too. But there's other guys just like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm just working." Like,
yeah,
it's just a job.
He's enjoying it. He's having the conversation.
And I just love it. Like after Sid's been sick, and he comes
he's been
back,
gone away
he's
for
like,
ages.
"Where have you been, man? Like, what's going on? Like, oh well, I'm glad you're here. Because what is it? I need somebody non-responsive to talk to. You're cheaper than my therapist." Like that was.
And so,
that was
like,
pretty much the only piece of comedy in this movie as well. I think that's what made me so anxious too. There was no letting up.
No, there was no real comic. That was the only bit of comic relief. It was very much. It keeps the tone, it keeps the atmosphere, and keeps you just that intense, uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on, but that, to me, that works in its favor because you can't pick what's going on in this movie.
Yeah,
there is no familiar tropes. To me, I didn't feel any real.
No,
familiar.
There was no familiarity in this whatsoever.
And yeah, that's why I love it. It's its own thing.
Yeah,
even though it does have.
The only only familiarity I felt was when it's just that close up of Sid of that kind of I guess kind of mid shot of just like from shoulders up, and you start hearing Malcolm McDowell's voice, and I'm like, oh, there's that familiarity I need. Like just straight away, it's like, oh, there he is. There's Mr.
Sweet
McDowell,
buttery voice.
Yeah, thank God he's arrived.
I was saying to you before we started watching this, like, I forgot he was in it, and you mentioned it, and it perked up. I'm always excited to see Malcolm McDowell or, like, John Waters or Robert Englund in a film, even if it's just a bit character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always happy.
And he lifted me out.
Yeah.
He lifted me out of the doldrums that I was feeling.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned him, because we find out that he shares the same kind of obsession with Sid.
Yeah,
He's gone to a next level. There are
with Hannah, yeah,
celebrity skin grafts.
yeah, and he was talking about God and like how he doesn't really believe in God and stuff like that, but he kind of believes Hannah to be a type of God. Like,
yeah, it brings
when he got the skin graft, it kind of gave him like a bit of a
boost,
a lift.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, and like almost saying like that Hannah is his deity in a lot of ways. Like, it's
very much.
She
so.
gives me strength, pretty much. Like, you know.
And he was commenting, like, he was patting the skin graft while he was talking, but he was saying to Sid that you get to share something even greater. You get to share a death with her.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is every line. Like, I feel like whoever wrote his lines, just like, we got to make this as perfect as possible.
Yeah.
Just make it.
It was
great.
Yeah, he brought so much, like, that kind of Malcolm McDowell kind of gravitas, like, which
He's
is
such a professional,
almost like, almost laid back and just kind of almost like, you know, nonchalant about it, but it's just the way he, you know, it's his enunciation, and I guess his rhythm of just how he speaks is just like,
and he's
so perfect.
He's so confident in himself. He knows the character he's supposed to play, and he just plays the scene.
Even when he was wearing that scarf, that was really strange. Like, it was almost taking me away from the movie.
I love it.
Looking
Yeah,
at wearing that. It's like one of those big scarves.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
wasn't
little
just a quick
details.
little, you know, around the neck thing. Like, that was over all the shoulders and everything. And that was just like, kind of took me out a little bit. But it was just like, it's all right if Malcolm McDowell can pull it off. It's all that matters.
Oh, well, I think we've covered everything pretty much.
We've covered pretty much everything there is to cover for Antiviral, man. Yeah.
That's about it. Well, there's one thing I want to talk about. At the end of the movie, once, you know, we've seen Sid, you know, sucking on the fleshy bit, and is that not gross? And yeah, it just cuts to black. Your words were, "What the fuck?" Can you explain to me what that brought out? Like, why'd you exclaim?
I don't know. It was especially like all that build up. Like, I feel like there wasn't that much payoff. Like, the story, I guess, was resolved and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Like, it was like all this suspense and all this, like, anxiety and build up, and then when we do get to the end, I don't know. I just feel like it was just like, that's how it ends.
Yeah, but that's
how it ends.
That's
like,
how it's supposed to make you feel. It's supposed to make you feel, oh shit, no one really learnt anything from this. Hannah is still a pawn in these companies and the world's game. Like, it's.
And Sid's still under the thumb of his obsession.
It's a downer.
And he's in bed with the rival company. Like, there's no moral high ground in this story.
Sid looks out for himself, and that's it. And
that's all he cares about. That's the only thing that the company cares about.
Yeah.
Same thing with Malcolm McDowell as well. Like, even his character, he was only looking out for himself and his own interests.
Like, I think he kind of made himself. It's kind of made out that he made himself the family doctor, and like only he can go see it, and that's on his own personal thing. He's done that himself.
It's all out of selfishness. Like, I mean, I guess even the giving yourself a disease is all out of selfishness too. Like, why would you ever want to do something like that's? And I think that's kind of why I struggled to get into this movie to begin with, because it's just like, why would anybody get that obsessed?
Exactly.
Like,
well, that's why it's making you like it's asking you. It's like, could we get to this level?
I guess you do hear about those people who spend thousands of dollars on plastic surgery to look like somebody.
Yep.
And they never look anything like them.
No, they just look like, well, it's like a Chinese toy knockoff of like the celebrity.
Yeah.
When you get Spider-Bat or something like that.
Or Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's a good one. Taylor Swift.
Tyler Swift. Yeah. Something
like
that.
Well.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I understand. Like, as you said, they take those kind of themes to the as far as they possibly can, which makes sense. But it's also why, Like, I mean, if
yeah.
you know, you can take something to the extreme, but I feel like it's still got to be kind of believable.
I found it very believable.
I
To a
just
degree.
like, I mean, yeah, I don't know, like that guy getting herpes just 'cause she like so.
But that's
yeah.
it, because he sold it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's it.
and he
these are
you
desperate.
could tell he was mentally unwell as well. Like that's the whole.
Well, it's like instead of drugs, people are injecting themselves. So these are desperate, almost junkies. They want to be so close to these. It's a world of, you know,
Yeah, that's true. It's almost like having, like it's an intimacy.
it's a world of the oh god, I forgot the name of the bloke who killed John Lennon. Like those kind of
Yeah, yeah,
obsessive people.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
and delusions of grandeur and
Yeah.
that kind of thing as well. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. All right, well, let's wrap up Antiviral.
Yeah, on that lovely note.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to talk about that again.
Haha.
Yeah, I don't want to have to think about it.
Well-
I do feel better now I've talked about it, though. You know, it's better than bottling it up inside
Well,
and then sampling it
Yeah.
and letting other people
well, like as I
get
said,
anxious too.
last episode, this is the second test. Like Eden Lab was your first. That was how crap a movie can you get
Okay,
through.
yeah, all right.
This was how uncomfortable a movie can you get through.
Yeah, all right.
Next one, let's talk about the next one.
Yeah, okay.
This isn't a test. We're having a bit of fun.
All right, cool.
Oh man, I haven't seen this film. I've been dying to watch this movie.
I'm really excited to see this as well.
Oh.
After I looked at the cover.
Oh mate, the cover. Oh, I just can't even. I'm looking at. I got a nice collector's edition. It's very nice slipcase and all. But we're watching Body Melt. This is a 1990 Australian, like, I don't know how to describe this kind of horror. It's just, if you've seen Bad Taste and you like Bad Taste, you're probably gonna like this movie.
Okay.
And it's just over the top, great gore.
Can you give us a bit of a taste of who's in this movie? Because this is a who's who.
This is quite the cast.
What year was it out first?
1990.
1990.
So
That gives you an idea of the era.
right. So on the back of the cover, boasting a cast of Aussie TV favourites, we've got Ian Smith,
Oh, yeah.
William McInnes,
Oh.
Climo. Oh, we got Lisa McCune.
Yes.
Cool.
There is a Dado in there somewhere, isn't
Yeah,
there?
that's right. There's a Dado. Oh, what's his name? We've got Andrew Dado.
It is Andrew. I thought so.
Gerard Kennedy? Does that ring a bell?
Gerard Kennedy.
Mm.
I know a Graham Kennedy.
I don't think it's him.
Damn.
I think there might be a bit above him a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're
exciting.
looking forward to this. This is just straight up over the top gore and I can't even describe it.
It's going to be the best.
As the tagline is, we're working on the new you. New you may include pus, phlegm, glandular malfunction, and worse. So that's the kind of movie we're in for.
Fun. That
Good
sounds
time.
disgusting, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have to worry about getting scared about that one.
Now, you may just... Let's not have a soup or anything like that
Yeah.
while we're watching it.
All right.
Something vomity.
That sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it.
Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check it out. But be warned, you may not like it, and you may hate me for recommending it.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say you Eli Roth over this?
Nah.
No.
This was... I liked the comment they were making. I liked how far they went with it.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
good experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely
appreciate
didn't
it
Eli
as
Roth
that.
over this.
No, I
definitely
wouldn't think
did
you
not.
would.
Definitely did not.
No, there's a little limp Eli in there.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's how it goes. We have to do movies like this. I got to feel a bit uncomfortable, and like you said, it was a test.
And I
It
got
was a test.
people. You got to expose yourself. You got to
That's
see
true.
all these
Yeah,
things. You got
yeah.
to take it all in.
I don't know why, but yeah, apparently I have to.
See the world.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for listening. Really appreciate it.
We do.
Check us out on Facebook, Into
Yep.
the Minds of Madness. Have a look at us on Instagram, Twitter,
Yes.
at It's Mum Pod, ITMOMPOD.
Mm-hmm.
On them socials.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Gay Paris for the theme song.
Yeah. Big thank you to Gay Paris.
Ash Wednesday Boudoir Party. What a song.
And the album. So good.
So
Pick it
good.
up. If you haven't got it, get it.
What a great
Get the
band.
physical version.
Yeah.
Do them the justice of getting a physical
yeah,
version.
you really need to. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Definitely.
So we'll see everybody next week for Body Melt.
Yep.
Really appreciate it. I'm Paul
Indeed.
McWhirter. That's Chris Dicker.
Mm.
Thank you very much for listening, guys.
Thank you very much. Rest in horror, everybody.
Peace.